Hello guys, welcome to the channel once more, and today we are going to talk about the will of God, the wills of God. And it's a very interesting thing to talk about because most of the times we want to know the will of God as regards whatever we do, as regards our daily work and our daily activities of life, our job, our relationship, our marriage, and so on and so forth. And that is what we're going to talk about. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do well to subscribe and smash the notification bell for several important updates that is going to come your way. Let's jump right into this video. Now, when we talk about the will of God, this is something that it is very interesting, all right? It's very interesting because the will of God cuts across various facets, all right? Now, I'm going to explain it to you guys so you understand what the will of God is about. Now, when we talk about the will of God, we understand the will of God, we can categorize them into three, all right? We have the good will of God, we have the permissive will of God, and we have the perfect will of God. Now, when we talk about the good will of God, it is the general will of God. This will, it falls to both the righteous and the sinner. Whether you are a righteous person, whether you are not, but you can enjoy the good will of God. But some people, they make mistakes. All right, because they enjoy the good will of God, they make mistakes to think that is a final approval of their life. Now, the good will of God, whether you are born again or not, you can enjoy it because it is like an offshoot of God's nature. It is like God being so kind that the kindness rub off on humanity. Like, for example, maybe the creations of the creation of God, the sunshine, rainfall, and all of that, whether a sinner or righteous, both benefit as regards the good will of God. When it comes to success, right, there are some principles that is being applied that whether someone is a sinner or a righteous person, the person can enjoy that will. But when we talk about the permissive will of God, it is the will of God that is permitted, all right, but it's not final. It is just permitted because God just wants it to be like that. But that is not really the main. Now, let me explain. Now, for example, you have maybe you have money and you send someone to go and buy you 5 eggs, and the person came back with 2 eggs. All right, the person came back with 2 eggs, and due to as a result of maybe playfulness, maybe the person forgot, or maybe something happened to the remaining 3 eggs. Now, for you, you can accept that 2 egg. All right, you can accept that 2 egg, but you know that it may not be enough for what you are about to prepare. It may not be enough, but it will, you see the eggs definitely, but it may not be enough, but you just try to manage it. All right, and that is why most of the times many people fall below standard because most persons, all right, they are in the permissive will of God. Sometimes the day God speaks to you is not really the day you are hearing God's, is not really the day you are hearing God's voice, rather, might not be the day God has spoken to you. It is as a result of your inability to understand the voice of God, and that is why you just say, let me just, I think I'm hearing God this day, and you fall into the permissive will of God. So God permitted, because of his love, permitted, okay, this person, he can try, but he won't thrive as he ought to. So that's the permissive will of God. In other words, this is the will of God that is being allowed. God just allow it for the sake of your well-being. Now, the perfect will of God, as it implies, is being in a final validation whereby it's perfect. All right, as it implies, it's perfect. This not this person fall off, this person that, this person that. Now, as I said before, many of us, we are in the permissive will of God. To be honest with you, many of us were in the permissive will of God. Being in the perfect will of God take years and years, and it takes time because there are times whereby you tend to misinterpret the voice of God. There are times whereby you tend to misquote God. There are times whereby you may be out of a childish ability, but definitely all these abilities can come forth. So maybe you might not be in tune, or definitely you understand that when you start working progressively, that's why the scripture says we should aim towards perfection. So there is a perfectionist state whereby we're in the perfect will of God. So that's it for this video. I'll see you next time.